skip back to the Nuggets here, who just dropped their fourth straight tonight against the Pacers, in spite of a 41-point triple-double by Nikola Jokic. I mean, obviously we're recording this right now, and I'm very hateful for it, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch. Yeah, I'm. It's a little unclear to me why the Nuggets just really aren't pulling out these games as we come to the season's close, especially with a big part of that core squad that won the championship. You feel like they're the type of team. We're saying they got the best player in the NBA. You feel like they got the type of team that could squeak out games like this and really settle into a top 4 spot to close the season. But it's getting a little scary for them. I don't think we mentioned this yet, but to close the season, next they got the Kings, followed by the Grizzlies. Gotta be the Grizzlies, and then the Rockets.
Are the Grizzlies playing like 7 games in everybody's last 4? Like it feels like they're everybody's matchup here in the last couple games.
Yeah, I mean by just by doing the math, the Grizzlies should only have 4 games, but I'm pretty sure they're about to go on a 7-game losing streak. So
you've named them with every team, I feel like.
Yeah, they've had a rough go lately.
The Clippers, not the Clippers.
They've had a rough go lately. Yeah, I mean, that last game against the Rockets I thought was going to be much bigger than it really is going to be. I mean, it's going to be big for the Nuggets because they're probably going to have to get that win now. As in terms of where the Rockets might be. Oh, excuse me, folks. In terms of where the Rockets might be at that point, heck, they may be resting their guys to close the season. So, and it could ultimately be an easy win for the Nuggets. But I could also see the Rockets putting their full squad out there and just putting their foot on the throat of the Nuggets just to prove a point. Even though it's unlikely that they'll play them unless the Nuggets do in fact drop at this point to the play-in. It's getting really close. I mean. I don't know. Let's see who else is playing. Sorry, folks, we're kind of doing this in real time as there's a lot going on. But let's see. Do we have any more active games at this point? No, the Warriors. Yeah, okay.
I think it's just the Warriors Rockets, right?
Rockets win. Rockets win that game as well. So here, I do have to hit the refresh button because. Okay. I don't think that
it's updated
the
on NBA.com.
Has. Okay. Yeah, I don't think the ESPN standings has quite caught up, but I'm pretty sure if we notch
the Clippers
that
are now
the Warriors.
The Clippers are now the 5 seed.
That's just wild. That's absolutely wild.
So since you've updated this, Lakers 3, since we've recorded this, Lakers 3, Nuggets 4, Clippers 5, Warriors 6, T-Wolves 7, Memphis as the 8th. So definitely a shake-up.
So that means that the Warriors, T-Wolves, Clippers, and Grizzlies all have the same record right now. And my screen's not doing what your screen's doing. So it sounds like the Warriors have the tiebreaker against those 3 other teams. Is that right?
They have
based on the current standings.
The Clippers have the tiebreaker over the Warriors because 5 through 8 all have the same record right now at 46 and 32. And so it is Clippers, Warriors, T-Wolves, Grizzlies.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying that. This is some good radio. Well, that said, yeah. I mean, this is getting scarier and scarier for the Nuggets.
Well, the Nuggets just moved up a seed from what they were after that game.
That's true. That's a good point.
So that's nuts. So yeah, before the end of that game, they were at the 5, and now they've moved up to the 4.
Gotcha. Ooh. And then, wow, this is getting crazy. But it looks like the Kings are going to make it too. We haven't talked about the Kings. I don't know that I really want to, if I'm being honest. I only got so much time in my life, to watch and appreciate basketball. And how much of that do I want
NBA
to spend?
basketball.
Yeah. I can't. I don't even. You had to remind me at the top of this podcast that there's even other basketball leagues out there. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I at
I
least
don't know that I
attempt
want
to
to
go
spend that
see
time
one.
talking about the Kings at the moment.
No, but it would be fun to see them in just the turmoil that they've had over the season. Uh, and granted, it's just funny that them and the Bulls would both make it in, probably around the same seed, and yet they've all traded players for each other.
Yeah, the Kings are basically the Bulls 2.0. Just to
Yeah, and did the exact same
swap
thing.
out Vucevic with Sabonis.
Both sitting at the 9 seed. And we'll see what happens with each of them. Gonna host a playing game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're going to be playing the Mavs for that first playing game, and I don't even know who I would vote Mavs at this point, just because I feel like the Mavs have a lot more emotion behind these wins and losses at the moment.
Is Anthony
Just
Davis
because
back?
he's back, he's playing okay. I think he's having to shoulder a bigger burden than the type of player that he's built to be, and so he just can't do it night after night. There'll be moments, there'll be quarters, there'll even be games of him kind of taking over or looking like a guy that they run the offense through. But yeah, it's he needs a number two or really a 1A out there perhaps.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just don't really have that right now. I mean, defensively they could be a good team, but I mean, hey, it would be really exciting to see him in the playoffs. But if that was the case, that means one of the four teams that we just mentioned who are all tied would not be playing. So that would be very, very strange.
Indeed. Do you have anything more on the West play-in, or can we jump over to our other topic?
No. I guess we didn't give specific dates, but obviously there's a few good games that are out there that are really, really important coming down to the wire. Most of which seemingly involving Memphis, but not to mention that Clippers Warriors game to close the season. That might be probably the biggest game that day, if I had to guess.
Well, I'm looking at it here. So if you are wanting to go and find out, go to NBA.com. They have the SoFi NBA play-in tournament is going to be from April 15th to the 18th is the play-in tournament for those games once that gets started. We still have probably another week. We are in, I think it said week 25 of the NBA started today. And so at least for the Timberwolves, they got 4 games this week, and that's about the same for most teams. It's 3 or 4 games. We are at the tail end. This is the last week of regular season basketball until we get into the playoffs. I think what is that the next weekend? I don't have my calendar up. So 15th is 9 days away. So yeah, next Monday sounds like the start of the play-in tournament. So